All right, so hello again, good morning. If you're doing this in the morning, sorry, I'm bouncing around a little bit. We are still on factoring binomials 1b, and I want to jump ahead a little and I want to do a factoring that has a negative in it. So let's go ahead and look at we look at number 11. So here we go, problem 11. 30x squared minus 16x. So 30x squared, the coefficient 30 is positive, so I don't have any negatives to worry about there. I'm just going to separate the number 30 from the x squared. Then 30, to me, 5 times 6 is what comes to mind. I know some people, when they see a 10, they want to do 3 times 10. And again, you're welcome to do that. You're going to get the same prime factorization at the end, which is going to be 2 times 3 times 5. Now this x squared, of course, is just x times x. No big deal there. Over here, though, I have negative, I have 16, I have x, and you kind of have a choice here. I'm going to really strongly recommend you stick with what I said and get the negative 1 out of there right away. Because now that we have 16x, because then we know how to deal with this one already, which is to separate the 16 and the x. And so I just think that's the best way to deal with it. Let's go ahead and break the 16 into 4 and 4. And of course, both of those 4s are really 2 2s. 2, 2, 2, and 2. Now in this problem, we're not just finding the greatest common factor, we are actually factoring. So let's go ahead and find the greatest common factor first. And even though there's a lot of stuff, there's not a lot that's common. I only see one pair of 2's that match, and one pair of x's. So this is giving me, for my greatest common factor, 2 times x, which is 2x. So then over here, I'm going to write 2x, and I'm going to open a parentheses. Now, here's my pen color, sorry, it wouldn't change for me. Now I'm going to go back and look at what's left over. So I have a 5 left over here, I see a 3, and I see an x. 5 times 3 is 15, so it's going to give me 15x inside. Now over here in what's left, and this is why we want to have that negative 1. That's going to count as one of our leftover factors. So we have negative 1, 2, 2, 2. And the x is gone, so it's just those. So negative 1 times 2 times 2 times 2 is negative 8. So I end up with negative 8 here. And that's factored. Now, I don't know if I maybe didn't emphasize this enough, but factoring is the opposite of multiplying. So if you can imagine using the distributive property here, and I'll erase this, but if you were to do 2x times 15x, well, 2 times 15 is in fact 30, and x times x gives us an x squared over here. And similarly, if you did 2x times this negative 8, well, 2 times negative 8 does give us this negative 16, and then we would have this x as well. So that's always something that's important to keep in mind. Factoring is actually the opposite of multiplication, and yeah, it equally is important. All right, so erase this, and then that's it for that example.